Hello! In this video, we're going to talk about 10 things to consider when buying a stick vacuum. So let's dive right in. So 10 things. The first one is, do you need to be able to pick up wet stuff? Water, juice, something that gets spilled? If that's the case, I do not recommend a stick vacuum from that. Yeah, you might be able to do it, but no, they don't recommend it. That was not the way to go if you need a stick vacuum. So number two is suction power. How much do you need? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean the more is better, because sometimes if you've got too strong of a vacuum, it can ruin your floor. For instance, if you've got carpet and for whatever reason it's sensitive, you could pull out part of the carpet. So that's something to consider. If you need, if you need to be careful, just keep that in mind. Third, filters. Now, here's the thing. Some of the filters on a stick vacuum can be HEPA filters. I'm not going to go into the gory details, but basically that filters out a lot of stuff. Now, typically those are going to be more expensive than a regular vacuum or a other stick vacuum, if you will. Number 4, noise levels. In general, stick vacuums are typically quieter than traditional vacuums. And that's mainly because the amount of power they have. As a result of having a little bit lower power than a typical traditional vacuum, it's typically quieter. So number 5, price. Now, this is where it can vary quite a bit. You can go from relatively inexpensive, less than $100 US, to well over $1,000 for a stick vacuum. So got to keep that in mind. What's your budget for having a vacuum? 6, capacity. How much do you need to be able to pick up? And here's my thinking on stick vacuums is they're portable, they're easy. You can always dump out what you've picked out relatively quickly. Hopefully you're not going to have to vacuum for 4 hours straight. And by the way, the battery's not going to last that long in general. So my thinking is capacity isn't that big of a deal. You just want to be able to pick up, let's say, 30 minutes worth of vacuuming if need be. So just keep that in mind. It's probably not as important to you as you might think. Now, 7, power. How much power does your vacuum take? Now, if it's a stick vacuum, that means it has a battery, and battery life depends on a whole bunch of factors. So just keep that in mind. Some of the vacuums will run longer in general, and typically they're going to have a larger battery, which gives them more juice to run longer. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there, that power. And even though I didn't mention weight per se, that kind of comes into play. Now, number 8 is accessories. What else attaches to your stick vacuum? So here's the typical stick vacuum. There's the battery, the canister, the tube, the head. That's it. So you can get other attachments for your battery, like a little teeny, long, narrow stick to get into tight areas. You can get stuff that has a brush on it. Just keep in mind, what is it you need to clean? If you need to be reaching up high to dust effectively, you're going to want to have like the tube I showed you, but with something at the other end that will help with that type of stuff. Number 9, warranty. Does it even have a warranty? And I'm going to say they pretty much all do have warranties. How long is it and what does it cover? So keep that in mind. And last but not least, 10, size. And again, this comes down to, in my opinion, how easy it is to use. The big advantage, in my opinion, for a stick vacuum, especially a cordless one, is that it's easy to move around versus a traditional vacuum that plugs in, can be heavy and bulky. A stick vacuum is typically a lot smaller. So that's probably something you're going to want to look to do. In general, they're all about the same size. Weight can vary, but just look into that. So those are the 10 things I'd recommend when you're looking to buy a stick vacuum. Whoa! Here we go. Let's see if it still works after all that.